Good morning, everybody. Thank you for attending our Geneseo High School Veterans Day Assembly. At this time, could we please stand for the national anthem? Today we gather to recognize and pay tribute to the brave men and women who have selflessly served in the United States Armed Forces. These veterans, through their unwavering commitment and sacrifices, have preserved our American freedoms and ensured that the torch of liberty continues to burn brightly. Their service embodies the very essence of patriotism and deserves our utmost respect and gratitude. Let's talk about patriotism. Patriotism, a deep and abiding love for one's country, is a fundamental American value. It is a force that unites us as a nation. Our veterans are living embodiments of this patriotism. When they took the oath to protect and defend the United States, they embraced a higher calling, a duty to safeguard the ideals that this great nation was founded upon. The sacrifices veterans have made are immeasurable. They left their homes, families, and comfort to stand on the front lines of freedom. They faced unimaginable challenges with unwavering courage, often at a great personal cost. As we recognize and honor our veterans, let us remember that respect goes hand in hand with patriotism. It is in showing our respect, gratitude, and support for our veterans that we ensure their sacrifices are never forgotten. We must always take care of and support our veterans. Thank you to all of our veterans for their service, their dedication, and their enduring love for our great nation. We salute you and offer our heartfelt thanks for preserving the American freedoms we hold so dear. So please have a round of applause. At this time, I would like to have Emma DeBain, Student Council President, come up, please.
Thank you, veterans, for joining us today. We would also like to give a special recognition to our staff members who have served in our military: Mike Harrington, Dan Rakestraw, and Adam Brumbaugh.
Veterans and staff veterans, could we have you stand real quick and face our students? I'd like them to be able to put a face to you, please. Again, let's have a big round of applause for our veterans. This week, we had a hat week where students could pay $1 to wear a hat. You don't understand how bad students want to wear hats during school. And so we made it this week a patriotic week where they could pay $1 to wear a hat. And the money this week we collected will go to the Quad Cities Veteran Outreach Center. So this week we collected $201 that we will be donating to the Quad Cities Veteran Outreach Center. Let's have a round of applause. At this time, I'd like to introduce, and our choir will be performing, Mr. Steve LaCroix.
Good morning. As our students get up to the balcony to prepare to sing, their first song is called Setting Sail by Carl Stroman. And while it's not a patriotic song, it has definite patriotic application. C.W. Post College was founded by Long Island University in 1954 to accommodate the educational needs of World War II veterans living in Long Island's Nassau County. To celebrate the college's 50th anniversary, the college commissioned this composer, Carl Stroman, to write a special composition for performance at the ceremonies that would commemorate this historic beginning of the school as well as inspire students of the future. Setting Sail by Carl Stroman.
Excellent job, choir. Thank you very much. At this time, we have a featured speaker, veteran, that will be speaking about her own military experience and about being a military family. Many of you will recognize her. Could I please have Isabel Anderson come to the stage, please?
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? My name is Isabel Anderson, and today is a special day. I want to say that this is a great honor and privilege for me to be able to speak to you. I'm so deeply moved when I see these veterans. I apologize if I'm a little tearful today. I do want to thank all of the veterans for your service and dedication to the protection of this great nation. I also want to thank staff and students for a wonderful performance. It was excellent. I also want to thank my family members. They played such a vital role in, excuse me, I apologize. I didn't think I'd be this choked up. They played such a vital role in support of our military journey. I was asked by Mrs. Ganson to share my story with you all today. As you can see up there, when I was 18 years old, I joined the military. I enlisted in the U.S. Army from 1998 to 2004. My mother asked me, why? Why are you doing this? And I remember clearly telling her, because when I leave this world, I want God to know that I gave it my all. Excuse me. No regrets and no stone unturned. She couldn't really argue that. You see, as the youngest of 11 children, there was no spoiling of the baby. It was more of a hand-me-down system, so you generally would get your sister's pants that no longer fit her, and it just trickled down, and they said, here you go, these pants don't fit your sister anymore, they're yours now. But all jokes aside, my home life was extremely difficult. Excuse me. My parents were American, but of Mexican descent. And they only spoke Spanish. Due to poverty, they had little formal education. I apologize. Okay, so plans for me to complete high school or college were not pursued within my family. I was truly ignorant on what path I should forge for my own independence as a maturing teenager. I didn't even know that people went to college to become successful or even where to start. All I understood was that I wanted something different from what was happening around me. Many of my closest friends and peers had succumbed to teen pregnancy, early drug and alcohol usage, and some would never complete high school. Additionally, my parents were not able to afford college. Yes, yet they still had given me a life much better than their own. In the late 90s, there was an Army commercial, and I'm sure some of you can probably remember the little jingle that said, "Be all that you can be in the Army." I knew this was the true change that I needed to turn my life around from what I had known. So against my parents' wishes, I signed up for a 6-year enlistment from 1998 to 2004. My job title, Avionics Radar Technician, MOS 35 Romeo. I essentially repaired aviation radar equipment and night vision goggles for the pilots, the helicopter pilots, which is a pretty cool job. But on the morning of September 11th, I was sitting in an overseas briefing regarding my new assignment to Korea. At that time, a staff member came came in to say that the first plane had just hit the World Trade Center. Everything we knew would change forever. And we ultimately knew that we would deploy to Iraq or Afghanistan. Nevertheless, the Army still sent me overseas to Korea, where I lived for 1 year. Upon my return to the United States from Korea, I was assigned to Fort Campbell, Kentucky, with the 101st Airborne Division. I had been assured that I would have 6 months stabilization, which basically means if you had an overseas tour, you would get to stay in the United States for 6 months before being deployed. However, this would not be the case. Everyone became deployable, and I was given a 3-day notice to pack my bags and that I was heading to Iraq. My father, mother, and sister quickly drove over 24 hours from Texas to Kentucky to spend my final 24 hours in the United States before leaving. As I began to unload my bags from my dad's vehicle, he handed me my bags, but he found that he could not let them go. I struggled a bit to get him to give me my bags. I remarked, "Dad, you have to let go. Everything will be okay." Tears welled up in his eyes. Tears I had never seen from this stoic man who rarely showed emotion. Excuse me, I apologize. It is a moment that I will cherish forever, especially because he is no longer with us. I love my father and I miss him every day. Overall, I served in Bosnia, Egypt, Korea, Kuwait, and Operation Iraqi Freedom, and was stationed at Fort Carson, Colorado, and Fort Campbell, Kentucky. My time as a soldier was one of the best decisions I had ever made in my life. Despite my parents' initial opposition against my enlistment, they couldn't have been more proud. They also proved to be my biggest supporters. Upon returning to Fort Campbell, Kentucky, from Iraq in 2003, I went to church one evening and I met the man of my dreams. Josh Anderson, he's sitting here in the front row. We have been together for 20 years and married for 17. We have 3 children, Josh Anderson, Elena Anderson, and Lincoln. As a military spouse, I would have a different role. I was no longer serving in the military. My new role would bring forth significant challenges. Yet there was no amount of training that would prepare me for this role. My husband was a leader in his unit for Special Forces, which required him to deploy to combat areas often. My husband specifically told me, "You need to make friends and build a support team because you will often be alone." However, I underestimated his statement. As a new mom, I didn't realize the amount of time that I would have to spend alone. It would prove to be more difficult than anything I had ever undergone in the military, to include the deployment to Iraq. Other wives would simply say to me, "It should be easier for you. Weren't you deployed over there?" Yet being a military spouse left to care for home and children generally meant no sick days, few breaks, little to no sleep, broken down vehicles and toilets, sick babies, and insufficient meals. I recall a moment in which I had contracted a stomach virus and had no time to rest. I would simply excuse myself to the bathroom in pain, and once done, I would come up, clean up well, and go make dinner. The children and I had many nights we slept together in the same room. I would like to say it was because they were scared, but it was I who was truly afraid to be alone. My husband's deployments to Iraq or Afghanistan ranged for approximately 6 months at a time. In addition, his training would call him away for months. If you accumulated his training plus his deployments, it would amount to years of separation. Despite how patriotic I felt, it was nerve-wracking to fall asleep each night with the worry that there would be a knock at the door, explaining that my husband wouldn't be coming back from the war. Although he would survive each deployment, this unfortunate fate would befall some of his colleagues and our dear friend. If you've ever had to attend a military funeral for a fallen soldier, this is one of the most painful events someone could ever experience. No words seem appropriate to alleviate the pain that is left or felt by a spouse who has just lost their loved one to war. Each phrase seems so shallow, yet their strength to continue only reminds us to limit our own self-pity when things don't go our way. Despite the fear that I felt, I wholeheartedly believed in the cause that my husband was still fighting for. The military community had a wonderful way of making spouses feel safe and secure during these difficult deployments. My husband was a wonderful hands-on father, which made the world of difference. We had to keep reminding ourselves that the years of service dedicated to the military would ultimately pay off, and they did. He was able to retire at the age of 38 years old, and our dream to build a home in his beloved hometown of Geneseo came to fruition in 2018. The road had been long and hard, but there were times that we wanted to give up and give in. But we made it, and we both felt proud. I am forever grateful for all the men and women who have laid down their lives for the protection of this great nation. Let us never forget their bravery. Please join me in a moment of silence to honor these veterans that we've lost. On a final note, my message to you is, there's nothing in this life that will not challenge you and call you to sacrifice your comfort and freedom, be it football, sports, college, marriage, and family life. But you must press on and keep your eye on the prize, regardless of the difficulties you may face. Here's a quote from General Douglas MacArthur to his son. Lead him, I pray, not in the path of ease and comfort, but under the stress and spur of difficulties and challenge. Here, let him learn to stand up in the storm. Thank you.
Good morning. The last song we're going to play for you this morning is titled Service Song Medley, and this will incorporate the 5 main branches, although there are now 6 branches of the military. The 6th is the newest, which would be the Space Force. However, we are going to play the 5 main branches, and they'll be played in order, and we would ask our veterans if you are able and willing to stand to be recognized during your branch's song. We will start in the preferred order of the military, which starts with the Army, then the United States Marines, then the Navy, then the United States Air Force, and the United States Coast Guard. I would also like to just take a minute because I see this person here who just came back to Geneseo after graduating last year, finishing training, I believe, and I hope she doesn't mind, but please let's acknowledge Riley Hallendorf on her service for joining. Thank you so much. This is Service Song Medley.
Mrs. Anderson, thank you very much for sharing your inspiring story with us this morning. Veterans, you're going to get a workout time. Please have you stand one more time, and please, let's recognize our veterans this morning again, please. Thank you very much for attending this morning, veterans, students, and staff. Thank you very much for your undivided attention for this important assembly. It's been a great morning. At this time, our assembly is now concluded. Students, please await directions from a staff member for going back to class. Thank you very much for attending again this morning. Veterans, stay here, please.